back in 2017 and 2021 during a cryptocurrency bull market, we had many tokens that gave us a profit. But this time, with this expected bull time on the verge of 2024 and 5, due to the halving cycle of Bitcoin, the bull market may favorize another tokens that we need to yet to get discovered. But for now, for those that are holding the old bags, old cryptos, right now, that's a great question whether you should hold them in order to expect a similar profits to what was back during previous cycles, or get rid of them and better interest of something else. So we'll just make a great look through the positions that have gained very much back during this former cycles, and I will just discover the possibilities for this to hold. So I have also a clue for you. If you don't wanna lose everything on the market, better just don't add up to your losing positions, and we'll also get through the trading aspect that is touching this case as well. So let's get to our next episode of Wall Street Station, and that's the channel devoted on showcasing you the updates on the stock market, crypto and commodities. So we'll go through everything right here. So let's jump straight to our first element, that is the main topic of today's presentation. Should you hold old crypto bags in 2023? So let's jump to the biggest winners back to what was back in 2017. So in 2017, the biggest gainers, aside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, because we wanna just focus mainly on altcoins, so it means alternative coins to Bitcoin and Ethereum, what I call. The biggest profits were Stellar, Litecoin, MakerDAO and IOTA, one of the greatest ones. And the Stellar is one of the interesting tokens, as it gives us a chance to make a cross-border transactions. Also, back in June and July, Wisdom Tree, an exchange-traded fund and sponsor of an exchange-traded product, has launched its first open-ended fund with usage of this chain. So we can find that many elements are going on that blockchain, but if we need to study whether we should hold or just dump the positions, we need to just look at the chart, because there is no better analyst by but the market itself. So let's jump straight to I will just need to switch the windows. Let me all right, so we are right now going to our charts. So TradingView.com is where I usually take my analysis at. So you may also just register right there. The registration is for free. For starting Stellar Lumen, we need to use the liquid exchange that is definitely Binance One, and right here we can find that Stellar Lumens is the one that is gaining during this latest small bull market, and it may give us an assumption that there might be another wave for XLM to gain during this very rough see on of cryptocurrencies, and XLM to USDT right now is forming a kind of a very bottomish formation with higher highs, higher lows. So it's absolutely something we need to flag right here. All right, so it's not that obvious for that indicator of high lower low strategy, but it's absolutely clear for us. The computer, however, doesn't register this as the lower lows. No, it wasn't lower lows. I don't know why the computer is so silly in that case. So right here we can find it with higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We are given an possible upper tendency that may give us another point of reflection to higher valuations that may jump to at least this August 2021 levels. But what we need to just point out right here is that with every single bull run, the next cycle for every coin is bit less visible and noticeable. So for XLM, just look at the bubble back in 2017. It was absolutely great in relation to Bitcoin. Just look at right here, XLM to BTC has gained by 1400%. So it means that holding by this position right now, when the next bull cycle for the lumens in relation to BTC was 10 times weaker, it's right now kind of I would say a lack of understanding of what the sector is really going towards, because in order to have a higher returns on your investments, you need to have the next bigger emotional sparkle. So for this one, we don't just covering up the things by just looking at whether the cryptocurrency has a solid foundations or not, but also we are looking at what it has a potential for the future to make the new gains. So we need to study at first what happened back in the first quarters of this year in order to find out whether it's a good option to buy right now. And as I said, the Wisdom Tree short-term treasury digital fund decided to run their services on Stellar Lumens token, but for now, as this diminishing returns are absolutely outstanding, I would just look at another options. So just jump to another one, that's Litecoin, right? Or just maybe just find out. So Litecoin is right here, and that's the one of the tokens that has been found as the one of the younger brother of Bitcoin, and for this we can observe that Litecoin very often leads the way for Bitcoin in terms of price. Back in 20, I haven't this chart. LTC BTC, let's jump us right here. So LTC BTC chart right here, you can find it back in March of 2017. This chart was leading Bitcoin's price that right after has followed. Back in March of 2021, we've seen also few weeks of abnormal volume on the chart of Litecoin to BTC that may have pointed to the similar reaction to the upside right after. And in the past months, Litecoin has surpassed all other cryptocurrencies in terms of number of transactions, and that was also registered by BitPay. So Litecoin recorded over 20 million transactions during the market, so now it's absolutely worth noting. So it also may resemble that this volume is sparking up, and we should have another vibration going on the buying side. For now, however, Litecoin to USDT right here needs to prove its strength and rebound out of this demand zone right once again. In terms of another one, just look at MakerDAO. MakerDAO is the one of these cryptocurrencies that have a foundation built on decentralized autonomous organizations, and lately we've seen that. Let's touch that point. So Maker to USDT lately was buying American bonds, US treasuries, and even though there were concerns about adding collateral that can be taken over by centralized authorities, that might be a risk that in the event of regulatory uncertainties that may spark some conflicts. For now, Maker is absolutely the one that is going through the roof of latest highs, and right now heading towards 1291. So we will just jump it right here. So we have Maker to USDT. The next stop is at 1300s. It should get smashed with a proper price action. We can also observe that that volume is sparking up. So right now we can find that Maker might be in a good position to thrive, but as we do know, the interest in decentralized stablecoins lately has suffered. That's why we need to be quite cautious. Let's jump to the last one for one of the winners of 2017 bull market, and that was IOTA. So IOTA right here is really a doggy cryptocurrency that is at its slime's pace. So IOTA was the one that had a very good foundations, as there are more and more companies are getting interested in that chain, but still I wouldn't say the chain, but it's a Tango, so it has a different type of cryptography been laid about under the safe surface of the project. That's why it's kind of a revolutionary on its way, but still we cannot find there is a high interest in IOTA yet. So for those doggy cryptocurrencies, unless we'll build a very strong momentum and high highs, high lows, finally reaching a bottom, I wouldn't really stick to them. So IOTA is absolutely the one that I will just drop out of my crypto portfolio. Maker, however, is the one, the previous one that was in a better shape for me. So right now let's jump to another slide, and that's the question whether we should rather stick to those cryptocurrencies that had a great time during 2021 bull market, and that has peaked right there. So does it reflect this time? Should it reflect on the next bull market, those latest great performance? We'll just have a study on some of the charts, and right here I will just get you to first of them. So it's ADA to USDT. So ADA to USDT right here is what you can find is probably finding a bottom, and probably with this sell-off, this very strong sell-off, we can find that it probably reached such. So it's I would say that those two points might be one of the turning points for the ADA, but still we need to prove it by building a higher high, higher low structure. We need to go through this latest highs of 0.36 to prove it. So ADA has reached a very nice milestone with over few hundreds millions of transactions of total and summing up, but also we have many millions in terms of total value deposited, and Charles Hoskinson says that Cardano gets a real ADA TVL growth support out of the solid players. So we need to just validation this in price, because the foundation seems to be fine, but still there's too little for us to say that we are just getting back to this great path for ADA. So I would just maybe hold if you haven't yet sold ADA from the times back when it was absolutely astronomical growth type of asset, then I would stick to this right now, but I wouldn't really bet on it right if I'd like to start my portfolio from here. What about next? That's a Tezos. So Tezos is one of the cryptos that lately haven't had a great performance as well. Just look at this, it's very similar to ADA. It looks like it found a bottom, but we can find that right here the rebound is even stronger. So Tezos lately was the one that was going through many upgrades. For instance, Nairobi, and Nairobi, it's the upgrade that was a protocol improvement that bring better capabilities for Tezos protocol, and also started to launch this ecosystem of decentralized autonomous organization becoming more decentralized. The next one we have right here Polkadot. So Polkadot right here will be the one to study. So it's .USDT. So also that's a dog yuan crypto that I would just leave it as it is. There is no very strong bullish momentum, and also we're trying to fight on the surface of survival for .USDT and don't fall below its first initial days on the market. So it's a chart of DOT to USDT, and right here you can find that it's right now possibly in a good position to start another trend upside to the upside, but still even though those elements such as Mythical and other startups moving to layer 0 blockchain and building a kind of a the mall of blockchains, how the as the CEO gave it a good Gavin Wood said, building a possibly a mall for blockchains with this consistent architecture out of the many blockchains right here, giving us a great foundation to have another spark upside, but for now investors are lacking. So what about the next one? It's Chainlink. Chainlink is absolutely the one of the most supported tokens in the crypto space. At least that was back in 2021, and right now, after reaching a trough right back in June of 2023, we are trying to recover, and for me that was the bottom. That has marked the possible inflection point for the Chainlink that should rise from here. So Chainlink is the one that I should hold to if you had the back right there, and even the good is in a proper position to start a portfolio from. So right now Chainlink is in a consolidation, and we can find right here that among those cryptocurrencies that has been winners during latest bull markets, there are just few that I would stick to them and hold it by next 2 or 3 even years. So I would stick to those that are betting on the greatest social development, because the marketing is almost everything for growth in the crypto space, but also putting on emphasis on foundations, of course. So the foundations right now are sounding right in many of those blockchains, at least out of the winners of latest bull market, but we need to approve it right away by good performance on the market. At least just await for higher highs, higher low structure, and stick to that simple strategy in order to find the next winners. Right now we are jumping to what's going on the stock market of US, and we are topping targets. So it's time for hedge funds to justify the year-end target published in January, and when considering the potential ending position of the S&P 500 for 2023, it becomes very challenging for those out of hedge funds, as additionally those expectations have overvalued to a large extent that index. So they need to beat in the chest, and right now it will be very I would say bumpy road, I guess, ahead of Nasdaq and S&P 500, as after that very good first half of 2023 we will have a very high forecast for the for the year end, and that will be very difficult to fulfill, especially as we are right now within a earnings period that also bringing some of the outcomes for us. For today, we are right at the great reshuffle phase on the market, where we have over $2 trillion notional of US equity options expiring this day. That's why we may see some reshuffling on the market. So especially when that type of size of options equities are expiring, there is another wave of inflows that is deciding deciding what to do with money, and they are betting this or against the market. So the high volatility is expected today, and supposedly since Monday we'll have another wave of inflows to the market in this or that side, betting for or against it. So it will be very interesting to study, and I will just give you out any of most important insight on the topic. So stay by the end, as we have still yet to cover the most important elements that's about trading and investing opportunities by the end of our episode. So covering up this element of which cryptocurrency is to win or not, at the great standpoint had a Vitalik Buterin, that's a CEO of Ethereum. So I need to make a interjection, as the Vitalik Buterin's stance was, I would say, the clue right here. So Vitalik Buterin is feeling very sorry for many of those tokens and cryptocurrencies that have a issues with Security Exchange Commission, and he finds that the victory of the cryptocurrency market is when all projects of a decentralized nature achieve it, not just Ethereum or Bitcoin. Thus, they argue that other projects are an important complementary element for the other chains, and that gives the users freedom in the context of which direction of decentralized money and which options he favors by itself. So this is especially true because the real competition is not from other networks, but from rapidly evolving centralized, where it's increasingly usurping the power to manage our money resolutions. So that's why I want to wrap it up with cryptocurrency, with that statement, cryptocurrency topic with that statement. Earnings season starts, and right here we have great expectations, but they are very difficult to handle. Yes, the banking sector is still resilient, especially those biggest entities. So those earnings were not much of a surprise, doesn't relate to problems. But on a Wednesday we had Netflix and Tesla, and those expectations among those names were something that couldn't get really easily to get fulfilled, and that's why the Nasdaq has slided by over 2% in the latest trading hours. So in terms of the next important names, we are waiting TSMC. It's before open, so it should be imminent to come that's Thursday's one. So we are right through this TSMC that also let me just find out. I haven't just make an insight in TSMC earnings, but it's very, very important indeed, as it's a great chip maker company. So TSMC has beaten EPS by almost 5%. So it's absolutely great for chips maker stocks. So it's one that is supported the price action on indexes, but taking into consideration on what happened back on Wednesday, we had a major slide that was coincided with the poorer outlook for those companies. American Express before open is today, should be covered right now. So as I promised, I have for you at the end a very interesting element. It's trading idea, and for today it's a out of my sight. It's copper, and copper right now is the one that is forming a. Let me just pop it in. So copper is the one of the commodities that right now is reverting the tendency that we've been building throughout latest legs upwards. On a daily chart, we are in currently at the tendency where this lower lows and lower highs been formed, as we are right now with a tendency where this is a lower high right here and lower low, but lower low on this time horizon should get us right somewhere at 3 points on the copper CFDs. So if you have a access to copper, that's right now after negation of this impulse and also aligning this with double top formation, I would stick to the projection that copper should just drop to at least 3.74, and it's around 2% of slide right from here. So in terms of the price, let me find out. In terms of making a trade for a short, this should align with something like that, with a stop loss right above the previous close of a candle on hourly. So it's around 2.221 risk reward profile. So it's still decent, but expecting this one formation to collapse when this another type of rejection has been met. I would expect that we won't get only copper further upside than the previous highs from 3.85. So that's my viewpoint on this. We will try to cover everything about the trade we are taking and running a portfolio on Discord next week, so don't miss that. So in this episode, that's everything. Also, I'm inviting you to watch our TikTok profiles and Instagram reels. So Wall Street Station right there will give you the most important facts that happened during the episode, every single episode. So I give you a tip: so don't better add up to your losing positions. That's what I wanted to say at the end. So I'm wishing you a great weekend, and we are seeing each other on Monday 8 a.m. ET time. Thank you.